Okay, looks like we are ready to get started. Welcome to Frogger live session number 3. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit more live coding on my Frogger game. So let me just go ahead and get started. Just let you know, I do have chats enabled. I will be trying to keep an eye on it. And yeah, let's see what we can do here. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. So what we've been working on is making a basic kind of excuse me, making a basic kind of clone of Frogger. And Frogger is a classic video game you can see here, where you have a frog and it's trying to get across the street. It's trying to get across the river to the 5 little save spots at the top of the screen. So we'll have to kind of figure out where those are going to be and what's going to happen. So let's take a look at what we have so far. So I'm going to go ahead and, this is part 3 actually. So I'm going to save that. Links will be down below. You can download this code at least up to part 2 so far. And then when I'm done with part 3, you can download that as well. And this is a bit more of an advanced tutorial, a bit more than some of the other stuff I've done. This does use classes, does use inheritance, and that kind of stuff. But hopefully it's followable for you. And as always, a quick shout out to my paid channel members, Kevin, Paul, and Jan. Thanks so much for your support. And thanks to everybody for watching. So tonight, so far, we got Mr. Yeats, Kubi Pop, and Vaishali. So welcome to the show. And welcome. And yeah, welcome. So let's get started. So let's take a look at what we got here so far. So this is our Frogger game. And we've got cars. And if you touch a car, you die. So that takes you back to the starting point. If you hop on a log, it takes you, and if you get to the end of the screen, it takes you back to the end because you're dead. And then up here, the turtles work the same way, except for the fact that they go up and down, and that's on a random timer. I should die if I get off of that, but that's something else we got to add tonight. So, and you can see how the turtles, went underwater, and that is the way that one works. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. So let me go back and take a look at the classic Frogger game. So a couple things. You can see here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of cars. We've got a safe row here. We've got some display information here. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of logs and or turtles. And then we've got some high score stuff here. So let me think about the numbers, how we're going to do this with the numbers. So if you recall, originally, I set up the main screen to be 600 by 800. So is 800 pixels tall. And sheets, I have a tutorial somewhere on how to add a splash screen. So search for that on my channel. I'm not going to add a splash screen to this one because I've already done that on other stuff. My purpose of this one isn't really a complete tutorial, but I do want to get this particular game working. That's what interests me, is figuring out how to code something that I haven't coded before. So we got 800 pixels high. Let's go back and look at that Frogger. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Basically, we got 15 rows that we need to deal with. So if we go back to the main screen, so 15 rows, and so 800. So let's see, that's not going to work because so what we've set up so far, if I go back and run this, each of these is 50 pixels high. So that is a challenge. Yes, I do have it on slow mode, but it's only on every 20 seconds. It was on every minute last time. So yeah, hang in there. All right, so we're going to have the turtle. Okay, so how can we do this? We got to have, let's go back to Frogger. So we got to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 250. So that's 5 rows. 800 minus 250 is 550. So that gives us 11 rows to play with. So, is that correct? Yeah. So that's 5. I think we can do it. So let me just kind of move this turtle down. Okay, so 1, 2. So the frog is already starting where it needs to. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 5 car rows a break row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 log rolls, home. Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's actually already set up for this. I am amazed at myself. Okay, so let's go ahead and deal with that real quick. So, so where do we create those guys at? Yeah, okay. So the player, which is the frog, is going to start at 0, negative 300. So the first car row is negative 250. So negative 250, negative 200, negative 150, negative 100, negative 50. So it should be at negative 50. All right, 50. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, that's right, negative 50. So then negative 50, so 0. And then the first log should be at 50. And then I'll put the second log at 100. We're going to skip 150. We're going to go to 200 and then go to 250. Okay, so I'm just basically just trying to level out the rows. Hello, Clayda. So let's take a look here. Oops, made a mistake there. So I think the turtles are supposed to be a little higher. Let's see, turtles. Oh yeah, I missed the turtles. So logs 50, 100. Ew, that should be 0. 0. That should be 50, 100, 200, and 250. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that again. Okay, that's more what I was expecting. So you can see we got 1, 2. I'm going to go ahead and just put an extra row in there. I just want to have one row of cars doing whatever needs to be done here. So car left, car right, and I'm going to need 3 more car rows. So let's go ahead and copy that. And yes, I know I got to fix this up. The frog moves 50 pixels. Jeez. So we're going to have negative 250, negative 200. And later I got to fix this up so we have, proper rows. Negative 100 or proper code. This is getting to be a little terrible. Now we have car left, car right. I'll make car left 2, car right 2, car left 3. I know these are great variable names, but logs and turtles. And then we only need one more log. So we're just going to go ahead and copy this log. Yeah, I've already given some thought to how we're going to make the levels, but I just haven't done it yet. 100 is 150, 200, and 250. And this is going to be log right 2. So then down my sprites, I'm going to have to add all the ones I just added. So I have car, oops, I'm going to go ahead. Car left 2, car left 3, log right 2. All right, so let's test that and see if it works. Yes, Al, I did watch that, but let's stick to the topic at hand. Just as a reminder, you posted something yesterday I did not appreciate, so could you please watch your language, because I do have young people watching this with us. So let's see, we're missing a few things. Let's see, 0, that should be 0, 250. 250, and let's try it again. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more row of cars. I'm missing the 5th row of cars. 1, 250. Car left 2, car left 3, car right 2. I missed car right 2. There we go. So car right 2. Yes. All right. There we go. Okay, so this is actually all of the rows that we would have in a Frogger game. Oops, and okay, and then the next step is to come up with these spaces. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of think this through. So I need 5 of them. So I definitely want one at 0, and then 100, 200. Okay, that's going to be easy. So 0, 100, 200, and 0, negative 100, negative 200. So I think what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to go ahead and make, I don't know what they call it, goals. We'll call them goals, I guess. That's probably the easiest thing at this point. And the chosen, congratulations. So let's see. So I'm just gonna, since the goal doesn't move, I'm just gonna make the goal into a sprite. And so we have 5 goals. So let's go ahead and do that. So goal 1 equals sprite. The first one's at 0, 300. And it's gonna be, this will make it 50 by 50. It should be the size of the player. So let's see here. Player is 40 by 40. We'll make it a little bigger than player then. And we need an image for that. So goal.gif. And what was that? Oh, this is the DX. We're not going to have this move, so it's going to be a 0. And so I'm just going to copy that and paste it a few times. And I know I could use a loop here to make it easier and all that kind of stuff, but I like to do this just to kind of make it explicit, and then I'll fix it up later. 4, 5. The chosen. I didn't watch any of the past live streams. You might want to do this. You know what? I am going to remove. That's kind of annoying to me. If you're not going to watch what I'm doing, you don't need to be in here. So 300. So 0, negative 100, negative 200, 100, and 200. Okay. Now I don't have a goal.gif yet. I'm going to have to make that real quick. But I will have to register it eventually. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that onto my shapes list. But let's go ahead and get this so we can see stuff. 2, 3, 4. Okay, well that's a good, okay, I want to take that back. Goal.gif. Alrighty, so now we got to go. Now just if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember the website that I used for this stuff, but I will show you here. It was Open Clip Art. And I don't want to delete that. That's important. So, and let's hide that. Okay, so let's go ahead and I don't know what we call this. Home. We'll call it home for now. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to use this, even though I know it doesn't really make sense for what we're doing. But I'm going to go ahead and save this image into my Frogger folder, and I'm going to call that the goal. Now, if you guys recall, Turtle module requires that you use GIF images. So we need to convert it and resize it. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up in the GIMP program. So open with other application, GIMP, select. Okay, so there's my home image. Oh, I just realized it's black, but we'll fix that in a second. So I'm going to resize this to 50 by 50. Well, 50-51 is close enough. Scale. And yeah, I'm going to leave that the way it is. So I guess I could zoom in and make it a different color. We'll leave it the way it is. I don't want to play with it. So file, export as I mentioned, it's got to be a GIF. So in GIMP, it just says select file type by extension. So it's a GIF. So it will export as a GIF. Export. And then what I'm going to do to deal with the fact that it's black and the background's black is I'm going to do the background color to green. And we'll have to fix that later. And Bearcat made it. Fantastic. Welcome. So let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. Okay, I got an error. Init takes 6 positional arguments, but 7 were given. Got it. Okay. So the sprite class does not need the DX. So that makes things easier. Again, since they don't move, it doesn't really matter. So we'll go ahead. Oh, geez, what the heck did I just do? That is pretty cool. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. So I got some lines. I got some lines click in between stuff. So that's not what we wanted. Something has gone vastly wrong here. So I think the render method is messed up in the sprite. Render. Why is that doing that? I bet that has been like that the whole time and I just didn't notice it. So I forgot to do pen up. So there's no lines drawn. They were being drawn just because they were black. We couldn't see them against the background. And hello, Mr. Jack of all arts. Okay, there we go. So that's that. I don't see the goals up here though. That's not what I wanted to happen. Render stamp. I bet I forgot to put them into the sprites list. Yes. So goal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm gonna have to maybe I'll fix that one tonight. Goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, goal 4, goal 5. Okay. And I'm gonna run it. Okay, got an error. No attribute update in line 195. 195. Okay, so sprites don't have an update class or update method. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna say def update and pass. I'm gonna leave that blank because all the other ones have update. So live and learn. Crikey. Update takes 0% arguments, but one was given. See here. What? All right. Wait, 198 sprite.update. I forgot what I forgot to do. Update. I forgot to put self. Always put self when you're doing classes. Hello, Aaron. And yes, yatta. Okay, so the idea is to get our frog home. Okay. Alrighty, that is good. Okay, so hi Furkan. So if we go back to the Frogger game, you can see that the frog gets to the top and then like it kind of stays there. Okay, so that is a good thing. So what we gotta do is we gotta come up with a way of doing that. So what I'm gonna do is probably the easiest way to do this is I'm actually going to combine the goal image. So I'm going to open that with the GIMP again. And I'm going to go ahead and combine that with the turtle image. Turtle, or frog, excuse me. Frog.gif, open with other application. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. So Control A, copy. Go over here, Control V, paste. Ooh. Okay, let's see here. Colors. Okay, that's not good. Okay, let's try this then. I'm actually going to copy this. Yeesh. Okay, Control A, copy. And I'm going to put that over here. Oh, it doesn't look very good, does it? Yeah, let's zoom in here and see that. Well, okay. You know what? It's good enough for now. I'm not happy with it, but I'm more of a coder than a drawer, as you can see. Frog home. All right, so export. Crop, export. Okay. Again, I know this isn't pretty, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is for now. This card changes, and so I'm going to have frog home. Frog home. I think that was it. .gif. Okay. So now, if the frog collides with a sprite, I'm gonna have to make it I had to make a new class. Okay. Player dot x equals 0. Player dot y equals negative 300. So I'm going to send the player back to the beginning, and then I'm going to change the sprite dot image equals frog home dot gif. I think that'll do it. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing the code. I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, got it. Sorry about that. Change your screen. My apologies. So what I did, let me go back. Crikey. So what I did was I took the frog image, the goal image, and I made a frog home GIF. Combined them. It doesn't look pretty, but it's gonna work. And then what I did in the code is I added this, but I realized I gotta actually make a new class. So give me a second here. I'm just gonna copy the player class and so class home, and yeah, that's all we need. Class home, and if it's a home, and then the goal equals home. I should call it goal. Home. Home's nicer. So home. And I'm gonna go ahead and just change this so it's all. I don't like inconsistency in my naming, so I'm really like strict about that. Any little inconsistency drives me nuts. So let's see here. Home, 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 and this is gonna be home, home, home. And this should be, yeah, that's that. And I think I've registered the shape. Frog home, yes. And if there's a collision with a home, frog home. Okay, I think that's gonna do it. Yeah, I get that question all the time, Shariar, and I have a video about it. Look up my video called "What IDE Do I Use?" Home 3 is not defined. What did I do wrong? Oops. Home 2, home 3, home 4, home 5. And Finesse, yes, I do like to support open source software where I can. Okay, thanks, Coding Made Easy. Now, Coding Made Easy, I know pays attention to everything I do because Coding Made Easy always corrects my mistakes, so thanks for that. Okay, there's our little Frogger game. Yosh. Nice. So this is what I want to check. If it's off center, oh, it still works. Oh my gosh, this is brilliant. Oops, that's bad. Boop. There we go. So I got to deal with that. Okay, so we're actually kind of got a almost working Frogger game. Well, we do have a working Frogger game. So the next thing I got to figure out is, how can I put it? Next thing I want to figure out is, as we mentioned, like here, if I touch a car, I die. So you can see I come back to the beginning. Okay, but up here, what's supposed to happen is if I'm not touching, I'm supposed to die. Okay, and this is a safe spot. So this is at 0, I believe. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to kind of change. Basically, the rule is, and this is like a really key thing with coding, and this is something that I tell my students all the time, and I hope they pay attention to it. I don't know. All of coding comes down to if this, then that. Fundamentally, that's what coding is. Hey, Insomniacs, I don't know who you are, but definitely you know me. So good to see you. So Insomniacs, so as one of my students can tell you, all I say is coding is always if this, then that. So basically what I want to say is if I'm here, so here I think is the 0 level. Let's see, log is at, yeah. So this is like 0, 0 on the screen. So this would be like plus 50. Okay. So if I'm at plus 50 and I'm not touching a log or something, that means I'm dead. So this is actually going to be very, very simple to code. Surprisingly simple. So down here, oops, I got to put break in here. Okay, so just as a reminder, with this collisions, okay, in this particular game, this works because this game is structured a certain way. So I can only collide with one sprite at a time. Al, the pictures are available in the link down below. Go to where it says download the code, and the images are there as well. Okay, so I'm going to go back. So basically, check if we are not touching above the y equals 0. Okay, so if player.y is greater than 0, the player's dead. Player.x, oops, no, wait, that's not right. That's not quite right, but I'm going to fix this in a minute. And player.y equals negative 300. Okay, that's not right. Oh, sorry, our page not found. Okay, I will fix that. Bummer. Let's see here. Let me get you guys the link here. That is annoying. Frogger. There we go. Okay. I'll put this into the chat. There you go. Sorry about that. I'll have to check. See, probably copy and pasted it wrong. Okay. That's not going to work. Let's see here. Okay. Player. All right, I'm going to have to add something here. Player collision equals false. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to assume the player has not collided. But if it does hit a log, I'm going to say player.collision. It's player collision. Oh, this is ugly. I'm going to make this player.collision. And so I'm going to go up to the player class. I'm going to say self.collision equals false. So we're going to assume that there's no collision. And then what's going to happen is if I touch a log, player.collision equals true. And turtle, player.collision equals true. And it doesn't matter for home. And we'll say player collision. That's just not going to matter at that point because we moved. Okay. All right. So that should fix it, I hope. Old School Coder is in the house. Very good morning. Oh, C#. Nice job, Mr. Yates. Just everybody, Old School Coder is another YouTuber I strongly recommend you check out his stuff. Let me pull up his channel because it's really definitely worth checking out. And it is, if you're into like classic stuff like me, especially, I don't know how Old School Coder is, but I assume we're roughly from the same generation. And check it out. Check out Old School Coder's channel there. Definitely worth a follow. Okay, so back to Frogger. So Old School Coder hopefully has some stories of playing Frogger as a youth. So anyway, hopefully this will work. Yeah, let's try it, test it out, see what happens. Okay, so this is a good sign. So far the game is running. I'm still moving. And then in here, like I said, I'm not supposed to touch anything, which is good. Because if I touch something, I die. 50 something. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit a log. Okay, I just died. Fudge. That didn't work. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, okay. I can't go above that now. Okay, well, that's bearable. Oh, I forgot to put the second check. And player.collision does not equal true. So if the player is not colliding with anything above. Al, I don't know much about any web dev channels, so I'm sorry. Although, who did I check out for Django? Was it Corey Schaefer? Anyway, just you can always check out Corey Schaefer. He's amazing. So yeah, definitely give that a look as well. But Old School Coder is, you know, I assume we're mutually fans. Anyway, so here we go. Let's try that again. So again, avoiding the cars. Okay, jumping on the log. Yes, yes, yes. Oh no. Ah. And oh, it should be. Oh, okay. Well, okay, it worked. I'm not sure that was a weird collision. I gotta fix that. Okay. Okay, and you can see now that I cannot get above. I am dying. So basically, it works. And Frogger. Oh my gosh, this is just. Ooh, yeah, this is just like Frogger, except I have infinite lives. Okay, let's cut up there. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. And okay, it's working. Yeah, Tech with Tim's really good as well. Yeah. I am pretty happy with this game right now. I'm actually very happy with myself right now. I didn't know I was going to be able to do this tonight. And fudge. I keep doing that. Now again, I haven't done anything that died. Now of course, you know, at this point, yeah, it's finally working. I'm pretty happy. So you can see basically I have a working game. It's working. So yeah, so Al's asked like what's the next step to make the top part blue. Let's go ahead and play around with that real quick. I'm gonna do that like probably the easiest way I can think of, and that's to make a background image. So I'm gonna go back to GIMP, which I've been using. I'm gonna open that up and GIMP. Mr. Yates. Oh, nice. Old School Coder. Yeah. Old School Coder is working on a really cool game called Pie Runner, and it's a Grid Runner clone. So, yeah, I guess, I don't know, Old School Coder, is it something that our generation, like, we're like really nostalgic and we want to reproduce our youth or something like that? It's funny because, like, back then I never could have made a game like this. I just wasn't good enough at it. Yeah, Coding Made Easy. Import Anti-Gravity. That's a classic. And, oh, Pyroids. Nice. Yeah, Asteroids Clone. I think, yeah, we must be reliving our youth. And Barricade. Background image. Yeah. So let me go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to File. I'm going to go to New. And the width of the screen was 600. The height of the screen was 800. So I'm going to click OK. Now, the screen, let's take a look back at the screen. Okay, so you can see the screen has those different bands. So I'm going to try, I know there's a way to do a grid on here. Let's see here. Image, configure grid, duh. Okay. So I want the grid to be 50 by 50. By 50. And let's try that and see what happens. Okay, that was very helpful. I don't see the grid, but guidelines, configure grid, tools, filters, no, layer, view, select, edit. Okay, this is where I get really frustrated and I go back to Google and just like see if I can find the answer. So I'm gonna go ahead and say show grid in GIMP. GIMP. And oops, sorry, I know you guys can't see that. Wrong main screen. There we go. Show grid in GIMP. All right. Yeah, so sorry, I know I keep screwing up and missing stuff, but it's hard. I've got like all these different windows open, and it's really, really difficult to keep track of what's going on. So, yeah, thanks, Cody Made Easy. Sorry about that. View, show grid. All right, duh. All right, let's try it. View, show grid. Yosh. Okay, now we're talking. Okay, so basically, again, let's look back at Frogger, and I'll try to remember to switch back. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, basically 15 rows. So on my game, I've got hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 16. We can deal with that. Okay, show. Alrighty. Now, so, all right, so let's see. I guess we need to. This is one thing I don't quite know how to do with the GIMP. Is okay. There's a square brush. So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of just eyeball it. I can fix it some other time. I'm not super concerned about it. So I'm gonna hit OK. So we got this. So the turtle starts. So this should be the home. Let's try it. That's the wrong button. We're not erasing, we are drawing. All right, let's try this. 3, 4, 5. So I think that's where the ocean is, or whatever, the water. Yeah, as you can see, art is not my strong point. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill that in blue. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, and I'm gonna go down and start. Let's put the road should be, what color would the road be? I guess black, kind of. What's the original game look like? Yeah, it's just the road's just black. All right, fair enough. Okay, and then that's the rest area, and this part should be black. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that in as well. Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things like, coding part's important, but the graphics are so important as well. And not one of my strong suits, I can tell you that. I'm going to leave that like that for now. Use a stylus, yes. Yeah, I know. File, export as, and I'm going to call this, I'm going to go to desktop, Frogger. I'm going to call this, call it background. .gif. And again, same folder, export. And I'm going to keep that open for now. And then what I'm going to do, make it very, very easy. I'm going to go win.bgpic, and I think what I call it, background.gif. And Cody made it easy. I can do that. That's something I'm going to put into my next. Oh my gosh, there we go. Okay, it's a start. Okay. So I started a little high up here, and yeah, so it's kind of getting there. I said it's not pretty, but it works. So I need a little bit more water down here and a little less water up there. So let's go ahead and fix that quick. Let's see, there's more water down here. Yeah, no, less water down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the erase, and now here I can kind of, be a little more precise, I guess. Now I have an idea what I'm doing there. Yeah, let's go over and fix that. Okay, and then here we can just kind of, don't have to be too precise now. And don't try this at home. And I think I went up too far on this one, so this should be. So I'm washing the windows here. And let's see here. Okay, I know it's not perfect, but it's close enough for now. And I think here I need a little more black, no? Okay, and paintbrush. Still annoying, but I'll fix it some other day. And then Star Wars, I don't know about that. And then let's see, I'm gonna go put like a little bit of lines in for the road. Make it smaller. And we're gonna flip the colors around. Yeah, I've got to figure out how to align stuff to a grid in this program. I just don't know how to do it. Yeah, you can tell I'm getting impatient, right? So I'm just go ahead and save that. I need to add grass. All right, well, okay, that's not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and add some green. Green. Let's see, what color is grass? A little greener. Okay, done. And we'll go ahead and fill that in. Doop. And do that. And I'm going to just add grass on all ends. So I'm going to go ahead and file, and I'm going to export to background GIF again and run my game. So, yeah, it's still a bit off. So I needed a little more, but you can see it's working. So I'll have to think about the image, but okay. Oh, and then you can see I died because the turtles went down. I am pretty happy about this, actually. Old school coder. Yes, somebody had to be drinking on the job. Indeed. Etonian flag. Who knew? Okay. So anyway, I think, again, except for the background image, I got to think about that and how to do a better job with that because I don't know a lot about that myself. But you can kind of get the idea here. I'm pretty happy with what I was able to get done tonight. And hello, Harshdeep. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. So just a quick review, and again, I'll upload all these images and the new code up here. I don't know how to do 3D. Sorry, in Visual, I do not know how to do 3D. I apologize. So basically today, I added the background, added the goals and the frog homes. I should change that to home GIF, shouldn't I? Let's go ahead and make that consistent because I don't like that. I do not like inconsistencies. Home, and yeah, I changed that to home, but I changed that to home. Not happy with that. Copy. Okay. Oops. Home. And then in my folder, I need to change that to the goal to home as well. Desktop, Frogger, rename, and home. Okay, I made a couple changes. I'm going to test it just to make sure I didn't screw anything up. And the game is still working. Yosh. Okay, I still die when I touch cars. I still die if I go without a log. And it's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this. And surprisingly, it's worked out surprisingly well. Again, some of the graphics aren't the best. But again, my focus is coding, to be perfectly honest. Not so much the graphics. But yeah, I'm happy with this. That's a reasonably decent game. So real quick, I'm going to just take a look at the chat here. And if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and ask me some questions in the chat. And if I need to, I can do a little coding here. Is there anything anybody wants to know about this particular program? And as you can see, yeah, I have a little scrolling ticker thingy. I'm trying out some new stuff with OBS. Actually, my next goal is not to improve the graphics. My goal is actually to get the game working. To me, graphics is basically the last thing. The only graphics that are really bad is that background image. And the house, I don't like that either. But that's different. But I can deal with that easily. Actually, I won't need the house image once I do the background properly. I am not going to turn off slow mode, so stop asking. Nobody needs to be typing more than once every 20 seconds. Coding made easy. You asked for me to do all kinds of weird and crazy stuff. I just don't know how to do that stuff. And to be perfectly honest, it doesn't interest me at this point. This is the type of stuff that interests me, so that's why I do it. And plus, almost everything I do is stuff that I think is applicable to my students. And Barricade, how will the frog win? I don't think you ever win this game. I think it's one of those games that just goes on forever. But when you get, if you go back to the main screen, the Frogger screen, once you get 5 frogs, then you go to the next level. The cars increase their speed. The turtles stay underwater longer. So we already have it set up to do that. The code is, basically the setup is already there. If you remember, let me go back to the code here. So with the turtles, right? So we have 3 variables here. The full time, that's how much time they are on the water. Half time is when they're going down or coming up. And the submerged time is how long they spend underwater. So right now it's randomized, but what we would normally do is like level 1, it would be set to a certain number or a certain range, I guess we could say. So then when we go to level 2, we do it again, but then they're submerged longer, so which makes the game a bit more challenging. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Old School, thanks so much. Yeah, thanks for following me on Twitter. Let me go back to the chat here real quick. So what do we got here? Yeah, okay, definitely gonna be more obstacles. So that's coming up in a future video. Old School, thanks again, like I said, for following Twitter. Again, Mikhail, I do not know anything about OpenCV, but someday I will. Arshdeep, don't know anything about virtual assistants, but someday I will. And Dar, I am using, it's called Genie, and I get asked this question all the time. I actually have a video about it, and let me see if I can. I'll try and just search my channel for the video that says "What IDE do you use?" And yeah, I'm not going to use recursion for this coding made easy. I'm just going to keep it pretty simple and just like regular variables. I don't like to do fancy stuff unless I have to do fancy stuff. Yeah, I don't know about the tank idea. And Harshdeep, I've already answered that question. So, yeah. Okay, Old School, I didn't know that. That's the IDE on the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, again, Genie is just really, really efficient. It's very lightweight. It has a lot of features, but it's not too heavy, and it's just really, really fast. So even on a slow computer or a low memory computer, it's quite fast. Plus, it does, it does something like 50 different languages, which is pretty cool. I teach my students mostly Python. I also teach Java. I do a little HTML and CSS and some JavaScript. And this one program can do all those things. For that reason, I don't use PyCharm because it only does Python. So when my students, switch to a different language, they have to learn a whole new piece of software. And I try to make it easy for them. It will not have score. Barricade, it will definitely have score. So if we go back to this, you can see at the top, first player score, and you can see the high score at the top middle. Oh, we got to add the timer. Okay, yeah, you got 60 seconds to get across. Okay. Yeah, so you can see there's still a few things to add, but there's nothing here that I haven't really done before, which is good for me at least. So it's mostly just applying stuff that I've done. Code made easy. PyCharm does HTML. I did not know that. Thank you for the information. You live and you learn. That is definitely a life motto, shall we say? And it's something, also, like I said, I'm old school coder, and I are probably much older than everybody else here. And I'm a teacher, and I think I try to set a good example for my students, because we want them to learn, and we know the world's changing, and you need to be a lifelong learner. So I'm trying to learn new things, and I hope that they appreciate the example I'm trying to set for them. So, but you never know. Kids being kids. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess no more questions or comments. So I think I can move on and call it a night for this particular project. But one of the things I've been doing is I've been trying to learn a little bit more about OBS, and which is pretty cool. And yeah, so that's interesting. Huh. Sorry, I didn't know I can move the mouse around like that. That's pretty cool. I'm very happy about that. I didn't know you could do that. So I'm going to go like the Frogger screen. Does that work on the Frogger screen? No. Lovely. Yeah, coding made easy. You come up with all this random stuff. I don't know why you do that to me all the time. I don't even know what Char Shield means. And old school. That's why I'm teaching my community Python and Pygame too. Yes, thank you, old school coder. See, old school coder gets it. Old school coder is a kindred a spirit, I believe. I do miss the old days. Sometimes. Okay, well, looks we're almost about an hour. It's about 52 minutes. That's pretty good. I had a long day teaching, and actually tomorrow is one of my favorite teaching days. I get to teach my grade 5-6 Python course and my grade 7-8 Python course. So it's always a pleasure. So everybody, yeah, like I said, if you haven't followed me on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you're able and you're willing, please consider joining the channel as a member. And I have different levels. There's a 99-cent level, a $1.99 level, and I think a $4.99 level. And my backgrounds keep calling you Stack Overflow. Solid advice. Bye, Bob. Good afternoon to you as well. Old school, only an hour. You did a 3-hour stream last night. I am a weak person. By Coding Made Easy. But actually, old school, I'm actually going to stop this, get a drink, do the dishes, and then I'm going to record a video for my members. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. K is I'm in your Python course. Who could K be? It's very mysterious. So, Harshdeep, goodbye. And K, I will see you tomorrow then, if you're in my Python course. I have an idea who you might be. But I hope you're enjoying this particular game. This is one of my favorites, and yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So yeah, again, I will upload all the code and everything to the GitHub and the extra images I did tonight, so you guys can download and play with that. Okay, so have a good one. Thanks, old school. So see you all later. Thanks.